वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Right, chapter 2, and we'll be starting verse 67. Indriyanam hi charatam Indriyanam hi charatam Yanmano nuvidhiyate Yanmano nuvidhiyate Tadasya harati pragnam Tadasya harati pragnam Vayurnavamivambhasi Vayurnavamivambhasi. Just as the wind sails a ship on water, the mind that yields to one of the wandering senses takes away discrimination of man. Tadasya harati pragnam. Pragna is discrimination, power. Vayurnavamivambasi, just as the wind sails a ship on water. Okay. So, most of the time, we take everything for the granted in our material world, in day-to-day practice, and on the path of spiritual development also. So in that context, okay, Swami Ram Sukdas ji has explained this nicely, that God has bestowed upon man a human body to attain Him. So a man should firmly resolve to attain God realization. But we are using the human body for what? Everybody knows the answer. I repeat, God has bestowed upon man a human body to attain Him. So a man should firmly resolve to attain God realization. This resolve removes his attachment for pleasures and makes his intellect determinate. But what happens if the intellect does not become determinate, has been described here? This is the specific verse. Indriyanam hi charatam yan mano nuvidhiyate. Senses are involuntarily drawn to the sense object. Senses are involuntarily drawn to the sense object. Okay? Right. Just imagine that you are walking on the pavement. Obviously, you are walking on the left hand side, right? Okay. And again on the right hand side, one hawker also walking in that trolley, and he is selling strawberry. Okay. Senses are involuntarily drawn to the sense object. Eyes has seen that strawberry, which is 10 meter, 12 meter, whatever it is, right? And eyes has seen, okay? And mind recollected. Man, I think the same person who was selling the strawberry 2 weeks back, and it was really good. Let me go. So, to the sense objects, mind that follows anyone on the senses is naturally led astray by it. Automatically will be gone there. Let me see. Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano vidhiyate. I try to explain you with very simple example. And that happens in your life, in my life, in our life. And that's our day-to-day practice. Day-to-day practice. Right? Okay? The same strawberry could help us in the process of developing ourselves on the path of spirituality. Okay. We are the same. The person who is selling is the same. Strawberry is the same. But what will be change? The thinking. Okay. Wow, God. How you made this strawberry? Who was there to put color in that? Beautiful. How you got the taste there? Thinking will be different. Or outlook towards the strawberry, I mean the object, will be changed. And we'll think about the Creator. The creation is still the same. Strawberry is the same. Hawker is the same. The pavement is the same. Trolley in which he is selling is the same. We are same. But the moment we start thinking about the Creator behind the creation, the concept will be changed. Everything will be changed. We need to think that, okay? It's small thing, but the moment we start put this in practicing, okay, slowly but steadily we will be on the path of spirituality. Small thing. You can take anything. You take Babylon, the moth. Okay? How fragile is that? How you can, I mean, if you have something in your hand, if you want have to paint, you can't do that. How God has done that? What is the expertise? You can think anything. Get the sugar cane. How the sugar cane juice is sweet. Who is there to put that in the test? So I mean, you can think about anything, and you'll try. You'll be practicing. When I say you'll be practicing to see each and every corner, each and every object. Creators. Right. So, for example, while relishing a tasteful dish, the sense of taste gets attached to it, and then it attracts the mind, and thus the misdirected mind gets entangled in this taste. Taste is the same, the dish is the same, but the moment we start thinking about the supreme, everything will be changed. Tadasya harati pragnam. When the mind gets entangled in pleasures, man immediately loses his determinate intellect that he has to realize God only. He has to think about the Creator behind the creation. ये कौन चित्रकार है? Nothing wrong, even if we go to Sabi. When we visit all that fall, all the or the God of window of God, something like that. Okay. ये कौन चित्रकार है? Who is behind this? And the whole concept will be changed. Tadasya harati pragnam vayurnava mivambasi. A ship without a rudder is at the mercy of a strong wind, as a rudderless ship does not reach its destination. Okay. So we need the controller, we need the guiding power, and that is Almighty. So a misdirected mind takes away man's discrimination. And that's why, I mean, we have so many times discussed that buddhi, intellect, right, should be connected. Connected with who? Right. And then it will be buddhi yoga. Tadami buddhi yogam tam. Yoga. Then it will be totally different thinking. So, a misdirected mind takes away man's discrimination. A strong wind either pushes away the ship in the wrong direction or sinks. But a skillful sailor manages the ship in such a way that the wind, instead of pushing it away from its course, helps it in sailing and reaching its destination. Okay. Yo buddhe paratas, we will see this the same in that's verse from the chapter 3rd. We will see, but we will try to understand that. Similarly, the misdirected mind misguides discrimination in two ways. It leads it astray from the path of God realization and engages it in sense pleasures, or it ruins him by entangling it in prohibited pleasures. But a controlled mind and senses do not take the intellect away. They rather help one in realizing God. Okay? Right. Here, a doubt may arise. Why has it been said that the mind rather than senses takes away reason? The clarification is that in the 60th of verse of this chapter, it has been said that senses sway the mind. In the 42nd verse of the 3rd chapter, which I told you now, okay, what it says, it is in chapter 3, which, we will start chapter 3 soon, okay. What is the last verse of the, I think it's second last, yeah. Indriyani paraniyahu indriyebhya param manah manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. Means, the senses are superior to the gross body, and superior to the senses is the mind. Beyond the mind is the intellect, and even beyond the intellect is the soul. Yo buddhe, buddhi means intellect. Yo buddhe paratastu saha, beyond the intellect, paratastu saha, beyond the intellect is the soul. Okay. It is mentioned that mind is superior to the senses and intellect is greater. Okay. It's subtle, higher and more powerful than the mind. It proves that senses sway the mind and the mind sways the intellect. Secondly, in swaying the intellect, the mind is important. Senses are not important. Okay. Senses are there. But if the mind is strong, then we can. Okay. The reason is that unless the mind accompanies senses, senses don't know sense object. Very good. Okay. Let me take you again with that strawberry. Okay. It's on the opposite pavement. We are here. The person is going. But if the mind is not there, number one, then even if both are at the same time, you won't notice, number one. And number two, even if you have seen, even if you have noticed, but the mind is strong enough that no, I am not going that side, then person can be in. So the reason is that unless the mind accompanies senses, eyes have seen that. Okay. But if the mind doesn't accompany, then it's nothing going to श्रोत्रम चक्षुः स्पर्शनम च रसनम घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चाय विषयानुपसेवते. In the 15th chapter, using the senses, perceptions of the ears, eyes, skin, tongue, and nose, which are grouped around the mind, the embodied soul savors the objects of senses. Because all the senses are there, but if the mind is not there, then, right? Oh, I didn't see you. It happens. In your case, in my case, it happens, right? And another with the same mind, but if it is concentrated on the specific place or the object or any element, for that, very good example is given in Bhagavad. It comes with the when it comes towards the end of Bhagavad, probably in 11th canto. We don't know when we'll be reaching 11th canto. But in the 11th canto, it tells about the 24 Guru of Dattatreya, and in that it says, the verse is in the 11th canto, chapter 9 and verse 13 in Srimad Bhagavad. Tadevamaatmanyavaretya chitto naveda kinchit bairantaram va yatheshukaro nrupatim vrajanta mishaukatatmana parshve. He whose mind is tied up in the soul has no knowledge of anything outward or inward. I saw that an arrow maker was so much engrossed in arrow making that he did not notice the kings and his all procession passing by him, because he was busy making arrow. Concentration of mind. Chitta ekagrata. In the 12th chapter, when we were discussing about Murti Puja, concentration of mind. It's important. Okay. The arrow maker had the sense of hearing, and its sense object was sound also. But he could not hear because his mind was not diverted towards the procession. The procession of the king was going on, but he was busy. He has engaged himself. He was concentrating what he was doing. When without the mind, the senses cannot even know their sense object. So what it says, the ears were there, eyes were there. But he has engaged himself in his duty, in his job. So from the road, the whole procession is gone with king. So the senses can't even know their sense object. Then how can they sway the intellect? They can't. Okay, right. So this was the verse 67. And the next verse, Bhagavan Krishna describes the condition of the striver who has controlled his senses. Okay. But this next verse we'll be taking next week. Okay. Today we're going to conclude here. 73rd verse of 18th chapter. Nashto moha smrutirlabdha tat prasadan maya achyuta स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव।